Alright, not sure how much you can see the snow, but it is snowing. So this is going to be kind of another short live stream. I'm going to walk to Osaki Jinja, which is the big shrine in the city I live in. And we're just going to take a look, see if we can see any plum blossoms still. One of these days I'm going to do kind of I was debating doing a longer live and walking all the way to Mashiko to go to a cafe. But I don't think I'm going to do that today. Anyways, I'm just going to wait a minute for everybody to come in. If you come in, please, say hi, give a like. Oh, it's cold. I need to actually put my gloves on. There's some blossoms right there. I screwed up a setting. I'll wait for cars. So, because today is a holiday, it's the Emperor's birthday, a lot of places don't have work. So if I don't have work, my wife doesn't have work. This week the last few days have just been rainy and nasty. So the snow is actually a really nice change. Tuesday, when we came back from Yamanashi, it was 20 degrees. It was really warm. Yamanashi's up in the mountains, so it's quite a bit cooler. And so we get down to Tokyo where we transfer. And it was just warm. We got off the bus and we're like sweating. We're taking off layers, shoving them in our bags. Then Wednesday and Thursday, it just rained. It did not stop raining. And then it turned to snow, so now we have this. Personally, I like the snow better than the rain. It is currently just about 2 degrees, so it's cold enough to snow, but not cold enough to really stick on the ground and the asphalt, so the snow is not going to cover the roads, which is probably good because a lot of people can't drive very well in the snow here, to be totally blunt. All right, we'll continue through. So this is a bicycle and walking road, I guess you would call it, that goes through the city. This here's really pretty, actually. I hope the video's coming through okay. There we go. Got some flowers. Got some snow on the flowers. It's actually kind of nice. to just keep going along this trail. So eventually this bike and walking way comes to Osaki Jinja, which is our destination today. So this kind of runs through the city. So it starts pretty much near the train track and then runs all the way along to the river. Once we get to the river, oh, trash truck's going that way. Oh, there's the train, just passed. So it kind of runs actually parallel to the train tracks, which you'll see when we get to Osaki Jinja and the river. So these here are all cherry trees. Now it's too early in the year for cherry trees blossoms, obviously, where we are. If you're further south, you can see some. However, we do have plum blossoms already, which hopefully we're going to see when we get to Osaki Jinja. Just a nice little walk in the snow. So this part of Japan, we are north of Tokyo. It's kind of on that edge where we get snow, but we don't really get accumulation of snow. We get more snow than Tokyo. We'll get snow like this where it falls on the ground and just melts instantly. Maybe accumulates a little on the roofs and the grass that are a little cooler, but it doesn't really affect our roads. We had that one snowstorm that I did a live stream of the aftermath of earlier this year, and that one was quite abnormal in the amount of snow. Another park. Another great thing about this city, Moka, lots of parks to play in. They're actually building another park near the train station. So we get lots of parks. Hi Terry, how are you today? Thank you for coming in. So yeah, this is just another park, kind of near my friend's place, so his kid usually plays here. We have a park literally across from our apartment. There is 4 parks on this walkway. So we just keep going. You can see some accumulation. It's not gonna last. It's also nice that it's a holiday, so lots of people don't have to go to work anyways, including me. Which is good, because last holiday I did not have off. I wasn't super entertained about that. Oh well. So we're just going to continue along. This is a relatively new development through here. Actually, it's a pretty nice area. Up, if you take a left here at this road, oh, there's the trash truck. If you take a left up at this road, it's actually a really nice area. New construction, pretty large. Like a lot of cities in Japan, particularly small cities, Moka suffers from a declining population. So there's actually a lot of houses where, you know, the people have moved off. Yeah, it is a very nice, clean layout here. There's a bunch of these basically walking and bicycling roads that cut through the city and actually make it really easy to go on foot. I mean, it's perfectly safe walking on the side of the road here. Japan has very strict driving laws, so even when there's not a sidewalk, you feel safe. Here, let's get to the canal. Take a look here. So we have a canal right here. It is winter, so there's not very much water in it. So this goes eventually, yeah, small cars too. Small cars, low speed limits, well-designed roads. You know, traffic laws are pretty heavily enforced. Breaking them is punished pretty badly. Kind of incentivizes you to behave. Liability is also really high if you cause an accident in Japan. So this is a canal here. So if we keep going that way, you've actually hit the hospital my daughter was born at. Other side of the train tracks. I'm going to try cleaning the lenses real quick. And a bunch of farmland. I brought a cloth for cleaning lenses. I learned that lesson the hard way last time. I'm like using my shirt. So if we go down that way, we go upstream. Downstream, this way it eventually meets up with the Gogil River. There's another park down there. These are weeping cherry trees. So they have the cherry blossoms, of course, sakura, and they kind of hang out over the canal. So this place is actually very pretty when you hit the cherry blossom season. So let's continue along. These trees here are also all cherry trees. So when the cherry blossoms are in bloom, hanabi, sakura season, it is actually a very, very beautiful place to walk. And I plan to do a live stream of that too. Nobody's on the road today. It's kind of nice. Yeah, microfishing. I do quite a bit of microfishing. I haven't made a video about it recently though. I've got one in the works. So on Monday, I was in Yamanashi, so a different part of Japan, right next to Mount Fuji, kind of up in the mountains. Yeah, so, yeah, do a lot of microfishing. I don't really do Tanago. That's the really, really small. Well, I've tried, but I never catch anything. So, but I use a Tanago style setup, but I usually catch like very small chub. The other one I do up in Yamanashi near Fuji, that's called wakasagi. So that's a type of smelt actually. Oh, the mountain, yeah, Fuji. Used to be a very old house here that was demolished. It was just sitting abandoned for a long time. But yeah, so I have another video about wakasagi fishing coming out because I did that again on Monday. Tanago, yeah, those are tiny. Also known as bitterling. That's the other name for them, the more English name. Another park. Yeah. Well, building a new house, much smaller. The old property there was huge. Yeah, Tanago can get tiny, and that's actually part of the challenge, is to try to catch the smallest one possible. So I think the smallest fish I've caught was 2¼ centimeters. Actually, that's an older house too. Yeah, it's a good name for them. They are little. So there's a few of these older houses. They usually have, basically, one way to tell is that the stone wall is actually going to be this very, very porous type of stone that you see in here. So this is oyoya, which is actually a type of stone that's mined nearby in Utsunomiya, well, what's now Utsunomiya. And so the stone is actually very porous, so it's strong like stone, but it's actually surprisingly light, and it's also a very good insulator. So you'll see people use it as an insulator in like older storage houses. So you can kind of see the difference. Like, this is modern, right? And this is old. Same thing. This is old. This is modern. So the modern concrete style, yeah, it is easy to cut. That's part of what makes it so valuable. You can actually see where this has been patched, modern concrete, where it's been damaged. And, you know, back before we had a lot of modern tools, it being light and easy to cut and easy to transport was actually very, very important. But if you go around to Chigi, you'll see a lot of this oyata stone. You can go into the mines. I went in there one time. It's a museum now. You can go down into them. You know, they have some displays and stuff. They let you go into a very, very small part of the entire mining operation. They show how it was done in different time periods. Basically, it became more industrialized and more high-tech. Yeah, that is the issue. they can get kind of dirty if they're not cared for. Fortunately, I think in other parts of Japan that are wetter, that would be a bigger problem than here. There we go. There's a plum tree. Still got its blossoms on it. The other actually interesting thing about those mines is a lot of it is actually still used for storage because, being underground, the rocks and stuff, it keeps the temperature cool and more consistent. So there's a lot of caves and mines like that that are still used for storage. No one's coming. Oh, nice thing about a holiday. Very few people on the road. But yeah, you can go down into mines. During World War II, those mines were actually used as a factory by Mitsubishi for production of Zeros. Then it became storage, still used for storage. Basically anything you have to keep cool. So a lot of alcohol companies rent space in the old mine to store alcohol. There's a place in Motegi, which is a little north of here. It's like 9 a.m. for me in Japan. Yeah, it's been 17 minutes. I started this at 8:45, so yeah, it's a little past 9 in the morning. We'll get up. So there's a plum garden up here, which is kind of the big thing we want to look at today. Graveyard. We don't want to go in there. The ghosts will curse our live stream. So this wooded section here, from my understanding, is all actually owned by Osaki Jinja. So Osaki Jinja is one of the big shrine in the city. So shrine is Shinto, temple is Buddhist nowadays. They really were kind of combined and syncretic up until the Meiji era when they were separated. Actually, no problem. Time zones are hard. I have the same problem. I'll be sitting there and I'll be like, oh, I should know what time zone he's in. I'm in the UK, or I'm in Toronto, or I'm in Washington. I'm like, oh, I should know what time zone. I should know what time zone London is in. Okay. No problem. All right. Let's take a look. So here we have a bunch of plum trees. So plum trees are pretty much the first tree to blossom in Japan. Texas. Okay, 6:30. Yeah. No, my grandparents live in Texas. So here we go. A nice little view in there. Oh, I need to clean the lens again. So here we go. Plum tree. I'm going to clean the lens real fast. Okay, that's better. So here we go. We have plum. These are the first major blossoming flower in Japan. Let me take my gloves off. So here we can see the petal. Now, plum petals, as you can notice, they are rounded all the way around. So this is one of the ways to tell them apart from cherry blossoms. So cherry blossoms have like a indent in them, I guess is the best way to describe it. They don't have that perfectly rounded petal. They also smell a little different. Oh, that smells good. Actually, this whole area smells really good because of all the plums. There we go. So here we have kind of our traditional classic pink plum. It has not actually been a good year for them. So it got warm, then it snowed on them, got really cold, then it got warm again, then it got regular again, then it got really warm for a few days, and it was like 20 degrees Celsius, and then now it's snowing again after being cold and rainy. So I think they are a little stressed out. You can see the blossoms are starting to fall, so we are a little late. This group also blooms earlier than others. One of the reasons is location, which I'll show you in just a moment. So, oh, where's a white one I can show you? So right here is the Gogyo River. So plenty of water, but the other thing is that the sun rises over there. So these trees actually get lots of sun early on, so it gets warm for them early. And that's part of the reason why this group blossoms early. So these guys will be in like full blossom. And then you go somewhere else like Igashira. I did a live stream in Igashira recently, and in Igashira, they're not blossoming. There's like a few trees with a few blossoms. All right, let's take a look at a white one. Here we go. We have white plum blossoms. Yeah, oh, that's a perfect one. Look at that, picture perfect. So these, same thing, plum, but they have a nice white color. We got our red or dark pink, which I already showed you. Well, and let's go to our soft pink, which is actually a very, very beautiful. Here we go. Soft pink color, sort of a combination between the two. Yeah, let's continue along. Actually, it's very pretty with the snow. Not good for keeping the lens clean. So there is generally cherry sakura is a lot more common in Japan. You notice the trail we walked along, there were lots of cherry trees. The city along the sidewalks and in parks plants lots of cherry trees. Not as many plum, ume. So cherry, sakura, plum, ume, Japanese. However, if you go to this city called Mito, which is in Ibaraki, it's kind of the other way around. They have lots and lots and lots of plum trees. And the reason for that was back in the Edo period. This would be the early Edo period. So this was when the Takagawas took control of Japan, became the shoguns. The Mito domain was ruled by a cadet branch of the Takagawas, the Mito Takagawa. Anyways, the important part though is that the line of daimyos they installed, well, it was either the founder or maybe one of the early members who was very responsible for building up Mito because it's the capital of his domain, his family's new domain. He liked plum blossoms. They were his favorite. So he planted lots and lots and lots of plum trees because he liked the blossoms. He, in fact, basically planted the whole side of a hill next to the city, just covered it with plum trees. The Kaido-ken, the clan school, same thing, covered with plum trees. So Mito has lots and lots of plum trees because this one early figure in the Mito clan, the Mito Takagawa clan, really liked plums. So it just continued. It became tradition of like, oh, what should we plant? Oh, let's plant a plum tree. So it's very interesting. You go there and there's just plum trees everywhere in Mito. It's a thing. And it's quite beautiful. And so the Kaido-ken, the garden that he planted, this whole mountainside, hillside, mountainside that he planted, just covered with plums. And during this time of year, during plum season, it's actually a big tourist attraction. People go to Mito to see the plums. Well, one of the reasons. Mito has a lot of history because of its close ties to the shogunate. They also built quite a large school, the Mito school. There's the garden, Kaido-ken. Mito was also a big place for sword production during the Edo period. And a big part of that was because, well, they were distant relatives of the shogun. They were Takagawas. They were the most junior. of the 3 cadet schools. And they only produced 1 Shogun, if I remember correctly. Let's actually walk over to the shrine a bit. This is actually also part of a bike trail, making it a little confusing at times. There's the walking trail down by the Gogyogawa River. So once you cross the river, you get to a different part of the city. That side is still actually pretty developed, but very quickly after you pass those houses, it becomes farmland. There's quite a few bridges across. It's actually a nice place to fish. It's actually nicer upstream. I find if you keep going north here, that's a better place to fish. All right, Torii Gate, and another plum tree. Here we go. Very pretty, very nice smell. You can see the 2 different colors there. Tree. I'm going to walk around the gate because I'm not actually coming into worship today. So these are a mix. So this side has quite a few plum trees. This side has mostly cherry trees, which I think is an interesting design choice, although there's some of each on both sides. Here we go. Osaki Jinja, next Torii Gate. More parts of this part of the grounds. A lot of, particularly these older shrines like this, and even older temples, they actually have quite a bit of grounds to them in rural areas. So if you go to, Tokyo, for example, a lot of times they don't really have wooded, forested grounds, but here they do. Cedar, there's always cedar. So this long walkway for religious is used for, processions and ceremonies. So I did a video a while ago basically showing Matsuri. It was probably Matsuri 2 years ago. I didn't make a video. I made shorts. I didn't make a real video about the Matsuri this year. I mean, last year. Jeez, it's a new year. I'm losing track of time. And then on weekends, once a month on Sunday, they actually do I guess you call it like secondhand or flea market here. So there would be stalls set up on this side. Also New Year's, there's stalls here. So this also becomes a commercial activity, particularly area during festivals, New Year. There's no one here, so we'll just walk around. Oh, almost no one here. Pray for children. That's a very pretty pink. I don't know how well, there's always the problem with the phone. The camera doesn't capture it as well as it really is. Here, we'll go visit the koi real fast. There they are. They're in the far corner. They're not looking too active today. They're probably cold too. You can see the plum blossoms have started to fall, and they're sitting on the pool above the koi. It's actually pretty. There's like a baby koi in there too. Little thing. Yeah. Let's continue. So both of the gods here, the main gods here, are about luck. So he is for, well, luck in fishing and industry, like farming, agriculture, fishing. So this is one of the bigger, more popular shrines. It's actually probably the biggest and most popular in the city. You can see quite a few plum trees. This little thing. Here usually blossoms pretty early. Oh, there's the new torii gate. One of these days I'm gonna, because there's a few things like I forget, need to research. I'd actually need to like write things down, to be totally honest. I want to do like a live stream or video kind of going through and explaining each section in a lot of detail, because this is a very interesting shrine to me personally. Probably just because I live near it, the main one we go to. If we go back here, you have more. There's actually a bunch of little shrines back here, and a lot of these I don't know the whole history behind. Like, I could only really tell you the basics. Oh, there's the rabbit. So, I don't know how well this shows up on live stream, but basically there's carving of two rabbits there, and the god enshrined in here is associated with a story with a rabbit, and I don't remember the story off the top of my head. Kind of deals with luck, and so when it was the year of the rabbit here, that was a very big deal. Oh, all right. Here is a treasure house or storage facility. This is where they would store important documents, treasures, things that have been donated over time. Now you can see, once again, oh, that same type of stone, the very porous Oita stone. So this would be stone that would have been dug up in Utsunomiya, which is now the capital of Tochigi. It's not that far from here. And brought here for construction to build this treasure house. A very traditional treasure house there. A little more modern style one. So things like old documents, treasures that have been donated are stored in there. There's probably a few swords. Oh, there's a map. That's right. There's actually a map in there that is very, very old. And it's the oldest map that they know of with any documentation of a settlement being here. I can't remember the time period. I want to say they think it's a copy of a Heian map. Shrine, motorcycle safety shrine. What else we got here? Trying to remember. I think this is the one that's the wood and parts of it actually came from Grandese, which is one of the major shrines. I'm trying to remember. I don't remember what most of these are about. Oh, this one's about finding love, matrimony, matching. Yep. These are smaller shrines. Oh, yeah, this one. This one is, let's say you have an important test or exam coming up. You would come here, worship, hope you pass. Hope you do okay with your tests and exams. The ones on the left, I need to look up the story behind them. Like, the information I could give you is very, very basic for the smaller shrines here. I keep telling myself I need to do like a video or a live stream where I actually like come. I'm gonna have to have a notepad and talk about like the different shrines and what's the story behind them. This one has something to do with kids, which I should know. I think this was the one that has something to do with kids. Is it Safety, health? No, I don't think so. That might be wrong. There's one of them that's about health and safety. No, good luck, God. On. So, so after you use a religious talisman for a long time and it's time to recycle, a lot of people traditionally would do this at New Year's. They would put them up to be burned. So I actually keep my amulets. I don't burn any of them. But I do replace them. So for example, I might have one that's for traffic safety and eventually replace it with a different one for traffic safety. But they're all hanging in my office. I also have an amulet for each one of the sacred 100 famous mountains that I've climbed. Well, so far I've only climbed ones that are sacred, so yeah. Everyone I've climbed has, almost all of them have some type of religious story behind them, though. There might be a few in the far, far north that don't. There's also one that usually is only open to men. Goshuens. So these are people might have a Goshuen book like this, and they collect stamps from different shrines. All right, we're gonna proceed out. So there's a tour of Osaki Jinja. We're just gonna walk along the river for a little ways, and then I'll probably end the live stream at a cafe. I hope it's open by the river. So here we'll take this exit. This one has something to do with the sciences, and I don't quite remember. I think it's also an academic one, as far as studying and taking exams, because, that's very important in most East Asian cultures, and Japan's no exception. There's also, what was his name? There was also a figure in history who lived in what is now Moka. Wasn't Moka back then, who was well known as being a scholar. So one of the things that kind of happens over time in Japan is these villages and towns have slowly been combined. Some of this has just been kind of getting rid of the old divisions from the Han system and the clan system. When the Edo period ended and the Meiji era started, some of it is just population administration. Some of these places were very small, so they were combined. The other issue is population decline. So as the population gets smaller and smaller, it can make sense to just combine these cities. And that's still happening today, but not as often. So for example, Nikko, which is one place we travel occasionally, actually we travel there quite a bit. Now, Nikko used to be a lot of different administrative divisions, but over time they've combined them together. So for example, I did a video about going to Kawaji Onsen. Kawaji is in Nikko. It was combined into Nikko. To get there, we transferred in Imachi. Imachi used to be its own city. Now it's part of Nikko. So that's kind of a historical pattern you keep seeing in Japan, where these smaller administrative regions are just combined together. So a lot of Japanese cities can feel, particularly in areas like this, they can feel like multiple towns combined together. Example, I live in a place called Amachi. Amachi was combined with Moka. Now it's part of Moka. Back in the day, it was not. Oh, here we go. Got some more blossoms. Nice way to end the stream. So I'm just going to end it probably on the train bridge. This is also part of the shrine. Is the cafe open? That's what I want to know. Important questions. This area is actually right up here by the train bridge is actually really good for fishing. Particularly in the summer. Not so sure about now. And the cafe is closed. I'm not surprised it's a holiday. All right, everyone. Oh, train's coming. Oh, looks like they're gonna open though. You can see the train way, way, way down there, just the lights. Yep. All right, everyone, I'm gonna end the live stream here. Thank you for watching. If you're watching this on replay, please hit the like, share, and subscribe button. And I will see you in our next adventure. I'm gonna take the gloves off.